Hello, everyone, and welcome back to World Leaders as Furries. This is part G. For the leader of Gabon, Bryce, I'm not going to bother pronouncing that last name. He's been the military dictator for a little bit now, and you gotta love how literally every 2 years there's a fucking another coup or attempted coup in Africa. Um, I looked at this guy, saw this immaculate drip he's wearing, and then I immediately was just like, peacock. Next. Next we have Adama Barrow of the Gambia. I he's the current president of the Gambia, and he is a pretty, from what I can tell, he's a pretty solid guy. He is doing his best to stand up for human rights in his country and throughout West Africa. So I decided to make him a dove, the international symbol of peace. Next up, we have the lunatic who runs Georgia. I'm not gonna bother pronouncing his name. Irakli, I guess, would be his first name. Georgians, I don't know who invented your language, but they really, really, really loved consonants being put together in ways that don't make sense. Um, when it comes to this guy, he is very anti-West, anti-LGBTQ, anti-Russia, and anti-EU. So he's really isolating Georgia, and many kind of call him a bit of a some people have actually said that he's just straight up a Russian spy who somehow got in power. I wouldn't be surprised if he, maybe possibly is getting paid by the Kremlin. So anyway, he's low down. He is very, ready to backstab you and is 100% a chud. So like all good chud furries, I made him a shark. Olaf Schultz is a progressive, albeit still very liberal centrist type of guy. He's like Bernie Sanders Part 2, boring boogaloo. There isn't too much that I particularly have dug up on him, other than like he doesn't like nuclear power, and oh well, I don't, like I'm just kind of shrugging at that one. Whether or not he is or isn't a socialist, I mean, he's probably not a socialist insofar as like, like as in like Lenin the socialist, but seeing how boring he is, I decided to make him a very boring persona and make him a wolf. Next we have Nana Akufo-Addo, president of Ghana. He is a moderate when it comes to LGBT issues. And is there corruption in his country? Absolutely. But he seems to be at least trying to not horribly mess up the situation. He's the closest thing to a centrist West Africa probably has. So I made him a water buck. Next, we have this guy, Mitsotakis, the guy who runs Greece. He is anti-immigrant, anti-this, anti-that. He's Trump. He's Greek fucking Trump. So, because he's a high-functioning sociopath, I made him a cat. Dickon Mitchell is the Prime Minister of Grenada. And he is from what I can tell, he's like some young upstart kind of guy. He seems to be doing his best to fight out corruption. So I made him an otter because he seems like he's ready for anything, got stars in his eyes. Let's see. We have Bernardo Arevalo, who is the president of Guatemala. As you can tell, I'm fighting my allergies today. And he is left of center. Uh, and he's doing his best. He's a very learned person as well. He has quite a big education. He went to a very fancy college in Europe. I forget the name of, but their mascot was a lion. So I'm like, fuck it, lion. Next up, we have Umarso Mbalo, who is the current leader of Guinea-Bissau, and he's an extremely smart guy, being able to speak Portuguese, Spanish, English, French, Arabic, and Swa. Because of that, I decided I would make him the first African protogen. Congratulations. Next up, we have Mamade. I'm not going to bother pronouncing his last name. He's the military dictator of Guyana, or Guinea, however you're supposed to pronounce that. He's a former French foreign legionnaire. So I decided, hey, man of war, big military general dude who's definitely seen some action. He's basically the closest thing we have to Big Boss in real life. So I made him a crocodile. Finally, we have the president of Guyana, the first Muslim president of Guyana, Ifran Ali. And he is, from what I can tell, a really run-of-the-mill, nothing all that special about him as a politician. He is doing his best to be friends with America and, fighting corruption and the cartels. Really just normal, basic, I'm a politician in South America stuff. So I made him a very basic South American creature, an iguana. And that's about it. That's all the G countries. Tune in next time. A, B, C, D, F, G, H. So it would be the H countries next. Have fun.